What more could you possibly ask of a budget phone with wireless charging, reverse wireless charging, JBL tuned stereo speakers, curved AMOLED display, and it comes with way more accessories than your average smartphone, including a Magsafe wireless charging pad or MagPad. All of that and more for a phone that costs just about $250.
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Budget smartphones have gotten really good. I mean, it's actually no surprise. It has been coming for a long time. Now, I don't know about you, but when it comes to features, or should I say value for money, Infinix looks like they want to lead the pack. Now, with all the features of this phone, with the exemption of the processor, of course, you'd think I was describing a flagship. It makes a lot of sense how far the subcategory of mid-range smartphones have come, and it looks like Infinix has decided to go all out this year, as this is not even their top-of-the-line device, because the 0 series is yet to come. But enough of the praises. Do all of these selling points make the Infinix Note 40 Pro a device that can be recommended for good user experience? Because in the grand scheme of things, none of it matters if the user experience is terrible. Now, Infinix officially released this device alongside the Note 40 and the Note 40 Pro Plus, which is the highest of the series, but sadly it's not available in Nigeria, at least not yet. That one supports 5G and is powered by MediaTek Dimensity 720. Now, the Note 40 Pro I have here is running a custom version of the MediaTek Helio G99. That is the G99 Ultimate, which is not exactly a beefed up G99, just something more tuned to work better on this device. But we'll talk more about that later. Now, as you might have heard me say at the start of this video, Infinix packed the Note 40 Pro with every accessory you could possibly need. A 20W MagPad wireless charger, screen protector for that curved display, a mag case, and the essential earphone and charging brick. It supports 70W fast charging, but more on that later. Also, I believe for a limited time, Infinix is giving out a portable JBL Bluetooth speaker and true wireless earbuds as part of the package when you get the Note 40 Pro. But I think that's actually exclusive to Nigeria. And then there's the 3 months free Showmax subscription. These are offerings that adds more value for your money, assuming you are getting one of the Note 40 series. Now, the case of the Note 40 Pro has a leather feel. It's not the most protective as it actually leaves the side exposed, but it is functional for the MagPad wireless charger. The phone itself does not have strong enough magnets to hold the MagPad. Now, if you have a Magsafe power bank like this one, you can just stick it to the back of the Note 40 Pro, and as long as you have the case on, it will stick onto the back of the device. You're good to go to charge wirelessly. The Note 40 Pro Plus actually comes with a Magsafe power bank or Mag power bank. It's not the first time we are seeing wireless charging on an Infinix device. We saw it first with the Note 30 series, and it's a good thing Infinix is building on that. I believe the Infinix Note 40 series remains the most affordable smartphones with wireless charging, excluding the used older flagship phones, of course. Not to forget to mention that it also has reverse wireless charging, so you can use this to charge your accessories that support wireless charging, or maybe to give your iPhone a small boost. While we're at it, let's just talk about the 70W fast charging it supports. The Infinix Note 40 Pro has 3 charging modes. You can choose between hypercharge, smart charge, and low temperature charge. Now, the hypercharge is the fastest and can charge your device from 0 to 50% in just about 20 minutes. But it warns that the device temperature might increase while using that mode. Or you can go with the smart charge mode where it adapts the charging speed depending on your usage or charging habits. And then there's the low temperature mode where it keeps the device cool but it charges slow. Now, one thing worthy of note is that the charging brick that comes with the Note 40 Pro has a light on it. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I think it's nice. Something I never saw coming with the Note 40 Pro is the addition of an IR blaster. I'm pretty sure you didn't see that coming too. That's something we've come to only expect from Xiaomi. I'm happy to see Infinix is adopting it. Now, to access it, you just need to swipe down the quick panel. You can use it to control your electronic devices like your AC or TV. Now, design-wise, you are looking at one of the most premium phones for its price. It is the first curved display Note device, and to some extent, it looks a lot like the 035G. Now, there's a leather version called the Vintage Green. I'm not sure of its availability in this region, but the one I got is the Titan Gold. Now, the back material has a nice feel, more like frosted glass, and with a nice pattern. Not sure if it's glass, it's probably plastic, but I won't be doing drop tests to find out. Now, on the camera bump here, we have the flashlight is the active halo, as Infinix calls it. It's more like AI lighting that lights up for notifications, charging, gaming, calls, music, or when using the voice assistant. And you can customize how it works to some extent. This is a cool feature to have, and as a matter of fact, it is currently my favorite device for music because I just like the lighting effects. Well, that and the fact that the speakers sound great, which is expected because it is tuned by JBL. The display on the Note 40 Pro is a vibrant one, and it's AMOLED, also possibly the brightest on any Infinix phone if I'm correct. 1300 nits of peak brightness. So it's safe to say this is a much improved display coming from any other Infinix device. The display is curved and the bezels also appear symmetrical. We get an optical fingerprint scanner which works well to unlock the device. Works fine. Now, software. Infinix is promising 2 major OS upgrades for the Note 40 series. That is a welcome improvement, and I believe it is the first time they are officially committing to OS upgrades for their devices. Now we wait to see how well they will hold up to that. XOS has come a long way, and this version that is based on Android 14 brings great improvement. For starters, one thing I've always looked out for since Android 12 is now here. The system UI colors now change based on the colors of your wallpaper. Now it has actually always been there but subtle. However, you can now see it in the quick panel. It gives the UI the much needed refresh. There are no ads here so far in my experience, and I've not needed to seek out bloatware applications to disable or uninstall. It's been fine. They are there, but it's minimal and mostly Infinix apps. I discovered a couple of interesting features with XOS 14. One of them is the Smart Hub. It works somewhat like a clipboard. You can simply store files, images, or text temporarily to use them later in a different app. All you need to do is tap and hold on the image or file, then drag to place it in the Smart Hub. For text, you can just highlight it and drag it to the hub. To use it from any app, just go to that app, tap on the hub, then drag your file to use. This is very handy if you are in between apps for work or communications. Another feature I stumbled across which I think is useful is an AI feature that can summarize or research whatever text you highlight. Once you highlight the text, you will see the option Ask AI, and it works well. All this and more has made XOS 14 quite interesting to use. It is snappy and the animations are smooth thanks to its high refresh rate of 120Hz. The Note 40 Pro comes with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of internal storage. There is a 12GB option, but I think that is for the Pro Plus version. And there is sadly no SD card slot, but it accepts dual nano SIM cards. Now the Helio G99 Ultimate, a custom version of the G99 which a lot of manufacturers seem to love, probably for its reliability or efficiency. In the last 2 years, it is probably the most used processor by manufacturers. The G99 Ultimate is not necessarily a faster one than the base G99, but you could say it's more optimized. Xiaomi is doing a similar thing with the G99 Ultra. It works perfectly fine on the Note 40 Pro, and I'm not saying it just because it launches apps faster and multitasks well. I come from the angle of gaming. Now if you play mobile games, you are probably familiar with the recently released Call of Duty Mobile Warzone or Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. Now most smartphones have struggled to run it consistently without heating up, flagship included. Although it's mostly because the game is not properly optimized, but I found it surprising when I installed it on the Note 40 Pro and was able to play the game without having the temperature go higher than 39 degrees. For context, my iPhone 14 Pro goes as high as 45 degrees within 10 minutes of starting the game, but the Note 40 Pro handles it just fine. It runs Warzone Mobile on low graphics and you can set the frame rate to uncapped. Now while the graphics quality does not exactly look as great as it is on the high-end devices, the game runs consistently well here. Now another area where the Infinix Note 40 Pro has exceeded my expectations is in its cameras, particularly with image processing. And we have a 108 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization and a 32 megapixel selfie camera. The image processing has seen some improvements when compared to previous Note series. Colors are accurate, not overly saturated, skin tones well represented with human subjects, and the processing is actually consistent. It's not a case of hit or miss. This also includes the selfie camera. You get impressive results, especially when you disable the default beauty filters. The Note 40 Pro can shoot videos at a max 2K 30fps from both the selfie and rear cameras. There is OIS on the main camera which works best when shooting at 1080p. You can also enable ultra steady for a more aggressive stabilization, but it crops in and the quality won't be as good as when shooting without ultra steady. Alright, so you're currently looking at a selfie video being shot at 2K 30fps from the selfie camera of the Infinix Note 40 Pro. So yeah, it can do 1080p 30, 1080p 60, then 2K 30fps, and this is what the quality looks like. Now it can be more stable if you are shooting in 1080p 30, then you can enable ultra steady, but for the highest quality, which is a limitation for the Helio G99 or G99 Ultimate, it's 2K it can go at most. Having used the Note 40 Pro for at least a week, I can say Infinix went all out here. It is great value for money and one of the best when you compare it to similarly priced new devices. Now this will give the Redmi Note 13 Pro a run for its money, and it's even more affordable and comes with way more accessories than any other smartphone at this price point. It is great to see Infinix finally committing to 2 years of OS upgrades. So far, I have nothing to complain about the Note 40 Pro. Now, I would have complained about its processor because Helio G99 again. But then, when you look at the competition, you actually won't find anything better. Plus, it runs Warzone Mobile well. Now, you can check this way or this way for my review on Redmi Note 13 Pro or Tecno Spark 20 Pro Plus, both running a similar processor as the Note 40 Pro.